Every morning he'd be out there on his court, sitting on a box near his tomato plants, surrounded by muscle. He was an old man even then, and he carried a lot of respect. One day I was talking to him about dogs, and he started in about Neapolitans. "When I was a young boy, in my country, they had a fucking statue of that dog right in the middle of the village," he told me. "Neapolitan Mastiffs, Burke. The same dogs what came over the Alps with Hannibal. I get out of this place. The first thing I do is get one of those dogs." He was a better salesman than he was a buyer. Julio never got a Neapolitan, but I did. I bought Pansy when she was a puppy, and now she's a full-grown monster. Every time Julio sees her, tears come into his eyes. I guess the idea of a cold-blooded killer who can never inform on the contractor makes him sentimental. I drove my Plymouth into the gas station, got the eye from the attendant, and pulled into the garage. The old man came out of the darkness, and Pansy growled. It sounded like a diesel truck downshifting. As soon as she recognized Julio's voice, her ears went back just a fraction of an inch, but she was still ready to bite. "Pansy! Mother of God, Burke, she's the size of a fucking house! What a beauty!" Pansy purred under the praise, knowing there were better things coming. Sure enough, the old man reached in a coat pocket and came out with a slab of milk-white cheese and held it out to her. "So, baby, you like what Uncle Julio has for you, huh?" Before Julio could get close enough, I snapped, "Speak," at Pansy. She let the old man pat her massive head as the cheese quickly disappeared. Julio thought "speak" meant she should make noises. Actually, it was the word I taught her that meant it was okay to take food. To Julio, it looked like a dog doing a trick. The key to survival in this world is to have people think you're doing tricks for them. Nobody was going to poison my dog. Pansy growled again, this time in anticipation. "Pansy, jump!" I barked at her, and she lay down in the back seat without another sound. I got out of the car and lit a cigarette. Julio wouldn't call me out to Brooklyn just to give Pansy some cheese. "Burke, an old friend of mine comes to me last week. He says this freak is doing something to his daughter, making her crazy, scared all the time. And he don't know what to do. He tries to talk to her, and she won't tell him what's wrong. And the daughter, she's married to a citizen, you know. Nice guy, treats her good and everything. He earns good, but he's not one of us. We can't bring him in on this." I just watched the old man. He was so shook he was trembling. Julio had killed 2 shooters in a gunfight just before he went to prison, and he was stand-up all the way. This had to be bad. I let him talk, saying nothing. "So I talked to her, Gina. She won't tell me neither, but I just sit and we talk about things like when she was a little girl, and I used to let her drink some of my espresso when she came into the club with her father, stuff like that. And then I noticed she won't let this kid of hers out of her sight. The little girl, she wants to go out in the yard and play, and Gina says no. And it's a beautiful day out, you understand? They got a fence around the house. She can watch the kid from the kitchen, but she's not letting her out of her sight. So then I ask her, is he something about the kid? And then she starts to cry, right in front of me, and the kid too. She shows me this brown envelope that came in the mail for her. It's got all newspaper stories of kids that got killed by drunk drivers, kids that got snatched, missing kids, all that kind of shit. So what? I ask her. What's this got to do with your kid? And she tells me that this stuff comes in the mail for weeks, okay? And then this Animale calls her on the phone. He tells her that he did a couple of these kids himself. You understand what I'm saying? He snatches the kids himself and all. And her kid is going to be next if she don't do what he wants. So she figures he wants money, right? She knows that could be taken care of. But he don't want money, Burke. He wants her to take off her clothes for him while she's on the phone, the freak. He tells her to take the clothes off and say what she's doing into the phone.